Christianity is under attack once again, this time at the expense of our heroes. A pair of Air Force veterans is suing the director of New Hampshire's Veterans Hospital, claiming that displaying the Bible at a table honoring missing veterans and prisoners of war is unconstitutional. They're demanding the Bible be replaced with a so-called Book of Faith, which contains writings from 7 religious groups and blank pages for, quote, those who find solace by other means. Well, here to discuss is the author of the book, Nothing to Lose, Unlikely Allies in the Struggle for a Better Black America, Pastor Darrell Scott. Pastor, it's great to have you with us tonight. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. God bless you.
Well, God bless you. And, this is just so shocking to me. I mean, it's yet again another, kick at Christianity. They're always trying to push Christians away. What's your reaction to this? This is unbelievable.
Well, first of all, acknowledging the Bible as a holy book, as a sacred writings, is not unconstitutional. And you said what I was thinking when people endeavor to say separation of church and state. They're actually saying separation of Christianity and state. They're doing as much as they can to eliminate Christianity from the fiber of American society. And think about this. Think about the hypocrisy of it. To say we want to remove the Bible and replace it with a number of other writings from other faiths, well, then if separation of church and state is separation of church and state, those 7 would be just as unconstitutional as the Bible. And so that whole argument doesn't make sense. To say we're going to remove this one faith and replace it with 7 faiths, if faith is unconstitutional, then it doesn't matter how many it is. They're all unconstitutional.
Right.
So that whole thing doesn't make sense.
No, it sure doesn't, Pastor. And, look, what the Constitution actually does, it prohibits the government from doing 2 things, from establishing an official church and then from prohibiting the free exercise of religion in this country. Otherwise, it is silent on the issue. And certainly we know that there are religious symbols, for example, right here in Washington, D.C., there are religious symbols in our buildings all over. I mean, literally etched in stone in the buildings of this town. So we know there's a long tradition of this country honoring faith in its public life. I want to ask you, though, this. Given what we've seen in Washington, D.C. this week, and President Joe Biden, as recently as a couple of hours ago, literally as he was getting on the helicopter, saying that restrictions may again be imminent. Now, he didn't say exactly what, but I think they're at least threatening lockdowns on us again. Lockdowns were brutal for churches, and I think totally unconstitutional to shut down houses of worship. As a pastor, what is your thought about this potential looming threat, once again, of restrictions for all Americans, but especially as it relates to churches?
The entire church paradigm as we've known it for decades and even centuries in America has changed drastically because of the restrictions imposed upon it by the government. There are a number of parishioners that really don't do the traditional church anymore, that all of the church that they do engage in is entirely by live stream and online and digital services that, because of the way that the government crafted this narrative and targeted churches as possible super spreader centers, people just don't have that affinity to go to church as they once did. And so for them to try to do this again is going to have some damages upon the church. Once again, the church revenue is down, church attendance is at an all-time low, and the churches haven't recovered from the first wave of restrictions, let alone a second wave that is threatening to come our way.
And well, Pastor, I want to switch gears real quickly here. There's still plenty of outrage over Ben & Jerry's. They halted the sale of their ice cream in what they call Israeli-occupied territories. Now, the owners are not backing down. They wrote an op-ed in the New York Times this week saying they are proud of the boycott. They're claiming they're on the right side of history, even calling it, quote, the most important decision the company has made. What do you make of this?
Ben & Jerry's is full of it. They're in the news. They're making news now, and maybe their stock will go up, or maybe they'll sell some more ice cream here in America, because it seems as if they've put their liberalism over their Judaism. And they're doing revisionist history regarding the events that took place in 1967 that led to Israel having the territory that it has right now. And even as far back as 1948 at Israel's statehood, what people tend to call people as refugees, they're not refugees, they're evacuees. There's a difference between the two terms. And so what happened in 1967, I was alive then. We talked about it in school in current events. I was in the 4th grade in 1967, and we had those discussions then. And I remember a girl in my class stood up and said, the Bible says Israel is going to win. And the class hooted her down for that because, you know, you're bringing in the Bible. But the thing is this, Ben and Jerry's, they're in the news. I think they're making the wrong decision. They're choosing sides to advance the cause of liberalism, progressivism, and to me, it's the wrong choice for them to make.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm sure Nancy Pelosi is stocking up her ice cream fridge, unfortunately. Pastor Darrell Scott, thank you so much for being with us. Great to see you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.